So in last class we discussed about the human eye, structure of human eye. Now we can observe any objective distance will be 25 meters. Within 25 meters only you have to keep and to observe. Yes, that we had discussed it previously. If not, what happens? Eye defects will be formed. Eye defects. So very important one, eye defect. Eye defects. Normal eye vision will be, so to keep the 25 centimeters, 25 meter distance, you have to keep that centimeters. We can identify the object. Understand? So you have to keep like this or far away from that. Means have some eye defect. Now, what are the eye defects and how to find the eye defects and how to rectify the eye defects, that we have to discuss in this class. Okay. First, these eye defects are mainly classified into three types. One is said to be the myopia. Another one is said to be the hypermetropia. And third one is said to be presbyopia. These are the main causes of defects. So these two defects will be caused by manual defect only. So that is our making some defects, means by looking large time TV or nowadays cells like that to be observed. So that is a lot of time you have to utilize to see such a light will be enter into your eyes and cause these defects, first two defects. Understand? So that is a human defect only. Understand? By that we can get these two defects. But third one is, it is due to the age factor, this will be formed. So due to the age, it will be this defect will be formed. What is this? Presbyopia will be formed due to the age. After 40 years, this defect will be caused in general, but not for all. So very good healthy persons will be there. For them, it is not caused this defect. But actually nowadays what happens? Commonly this will be caused for everyone due to the age fact. This defect will be caused, this presbyopia. But these two defects will be caused by anyone. Small kids also have this defect, any one of the defect, either myopia or hypermetropia. Understand? So due to this factor of our making some, what is that, miscellaneous things we have to do. Due to that reason, how do you get that defects? That is for reading so very small letters for a long time, or by looking TV, or by watching these cell phones, whatever that. Due to all these defects will be caused. Now, first we have to discuss about what is the defect of myopia. What is this defect myopia called? When this defect will be caused? And how to rectify this? Now rectification also there. So can't be leave this. If defect will be formed, we can't do it. So it can be corrected. So how to correct this defect? All that things we have to discuss now. Okay. So this defect will be caused. Long distant object cannot be seen by human eye clearly. Large distance will be there. No, we can't identify. Nearer objects can see, but longer objects cannot be identified. Such a defected person. So this myopic person cannot be see the short or cannot be see the long distances. And so long distance the rays will become short. He can't be identified what is there, but nearer he can identify. Such a man's defect, how the eye will be there. So first we have to observe the defected eye. Defected eye. So now we consider eyeball. This is an eye lens. This is the retina. This is what we call as retina, or stands for retina. So this is the eye lens. Now Actually, whatever to see in the objects that will be fall on the retina of the eye, then only we can identify the defect. We can identify the object. We can identify such objects. But this defected person, what happens? See, long distances, the rays will be comes on. So here, distant object will be there. Such a distance will be there. The rays will be comes out like this. Like this. It falls on the eye lens. From there, it will be falls backside of the retina. See, here they meet. Here the image will be formed. Means here object will be there. Object at infinity. Object at infinity. Large distance will be there. But actually on the retina it will be formed. Then only you can identify the image. But where it will be formed beyond the retina, then we can't identify. So such a defect will be there. It is a very difficult. Understand? So you can't move easily if this defected person. That's why for rectifying this defect, we can use in front of this lens concave lens. We have to use to correct this defect. Concave lens. Understand which lens to use to correct this defect? Concave lens we have to use in front of this eye. This defect is corrected. Okay. Now corrected eye I have to draw here. Corrected eye. Corrected eye. So for this corrected eye, we consider now the rays will be comes out like this way. On this way, you have to keep this lens. Which lens you have to use? Concave lens for rectifying this defect. Which lens you have to use? Concave lens. Concave lens will be used. Concave lens will be placed here in front of this eye. Then the rays comes out, falls at first this lens. From there it travels on the lens. And this rays when falls on this silent side, they will be meet on this rays. These two rays meet on the retina. Then we can identify the image. That our object image will be identified. Understand? By using what is this lens? Concave lens. Concave lens is used to rectify this defect. So, if myopic person cannot see the large distant objects, so nearer objects he can see clearly, but large distant object cannot be seen. By rectifying this defect, we can use this concave lens in front of his eye. He can identify or he can correct that defect and identify that. Okay. So concave lens after that we will explain. Next, hypermetropia. Hypermetropia. So this hypermetropia means he can not see the nearer objects clearly, but distant object can see clearly. Nearer object he can't, but distant object can see clearly due to this defect. Which one? This hypermetropia. This defect will be there. He can't be seen the nearer objects only. What is there in front of him he can't identify, but long distances he can identify, but nearer he can't identify. Why? Because in this what happens, to observe this defected eye, how this will be there. To consider a simple diagram, so we have to draw here. No need to complete draw eye diagram, just to draw only eye, lens, retina, object and images to be seen. So here retina will be there. This is the eye lens, Now here object will be there very nearer point. Here only object is there. So this is an object. So from there it falls on the lens. But in front of the retina, this will be meet. In front of the retina only the rays will be meet. Then he can't identify the object, nearer objects. It falls on the whatever the when can see any object, compulsory its image falls on the retina of the eye, then only we can identify. If not, we can't identify. That's why in this defect, very near object will be there, where the image will be formed in front of the retina. Observe the difference. Two defected eyes differences to observe. In this, where the image will be formed in front of the retina. When in front of the retina will be formed, either in front or beyond the retina, wherever its image will be formed, we can't identify. Then we have this, any one of these defects. So far away objects will be there, we have this myopic defect. Then nearer objects we can't see, that is in front of the retina only it will be formed, so we can identify. We cannot identify the nearer objects. Such a defected person can correct it by using convex lens used by correcting this. So which lens we have to use? Convex lens. So corrected eye. Corrected eye. So in front of this lens, eye lens, before eye lens. So in front of this we can keep spectacles now. So opticals or spectacles what used means in that these lenses will be there. Then only we can identify the objects clearly. Okay. Now convex lens what used for correcting this. So first we have to draw the defected eye. Here eye lens and this is the retina. In front of it, you had used this convex lens. What is the lens used here? Convex. This lens names to be remembered. Convex lens. Here object will be there. Now first it falls on this eye lens. This lens. From there it falls on the eye lens. From there it falls on the retina of the eye. Then we can identify the image. Okay. So first it will falls on the lens so I had used on that. Then after it falls on the eye lens. So this is an eye lens. Remember that inside this is an eye lens. Then it falls on the retina. We can identify that near the objects also. Okay. In this way we can correct these eye defects. So whatever the defect will be there, that we have to correct it by using this convex and concave lenses are to be used to correct these defects. Okay, convex and convex. When we have used the convex lens by correcting hypermetropia, we can use convex lens. By correcting myopia, we can use concave lens. Okay. Now next we can discuss power of the lens. Already we discussed in previous lesson. Again we have to repeat it. Power of the lens. So eye power of the lens can be corrected by reciprocal of the focal length. P is equal to 1 by f meters. In meters are considered. Power of the lens considered as P. P is equal to 1 by f. Suppose this will be taken in centimeters. This to write as 1 by f by 100 centimeters. That to write as P is equal to 100 by f centimeters. Whatever that, 1 by f or 100 by f. By using that we can calculate the power of the lens. So what is the power? So not to be used any kind of lenses. Compulsory we check its power, then only we can use that. For concave lenses we get the negative values of power of lenses, and for convex lenses we get the positive values. Okay. Then next we will continue prism. Okay, next class.